YouTube. Welcome to What's Your Problem? And over the next few episodes, I'm going to solve for you the quizzes and assignments of the Coursera course, Programming for Everybody, Getting Started with Python. Okay, without further ado, let's get to the first assignment, which is in week 2. You'll see that the first assignment is a peer-graded assignment, which means other students taking the same course will look at your assignment and they're the ones who will be grading your assignment. Here are the instructions. Go to the My Submission tab, and the first part of the assignment tells you to upload an image of a text editor showing your Python code with single print statement using anything except hello world. So basically you can write any print statement other than hello world. And the second part of the assignment tells you to upload an image showing that the code you just wrote is running in a command line or terminal. I'll be showing you how to do that. Alright guys, for this assignment you're going to need to install the Python programming language and a text editor. Any text editor will do. And if you haven't installed them already, go ahead and install them now. I'll provide the download links in the description box below. You can have a look at that. Alright, I have the Atom text editor, which is also recommended by the course instructor. Alright, this is the Atom text editor, and we're going to write a single print statement. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's write print. Hello, I am a student in this class, or in this course rather. Now you have to save this file, right? Control S, or you can go to File and click on Save. Let's save this on my desktop. Let's give this file name assignment1, and you have to give .py. That's really important. Without this extension, without this py, Python won't recognize your file and it will never run on Python, okay? So let's save. And you can see that once the file is saved, the text colors have automatically changed. That's because our file has now been recognized as a Python script. Okay, the first part of your assignment is to submit an image of this statement that you just wrote. So how do you do that? Well, we're going to do it using snipping tool. Type snipping tool. If you're using Windows 7 and above, it should be there, right there. I've already saved it on my toolbar. It's a shortcut. Let's open that. Go to New and click. That's it. This is my image. Save as. Let's name this Capture 1. And bang, it's saved. And there's our file. Okay, so now all you have to do is upload this image on your assignment page by clicking on the upload button. As you can see, I've already uploaded my image, so the upload button isn't showing anymore. Okay, moving on. For the next part of the assignment, you have to open your Windows command prompt. I've already pinned my command prompt to my toolbar for easy access. Alright, now you have to have a little bit of knowledge about the syntax and semantics of Windows command prompt. And what I mean by that is you have to be able to write commands to open directories and files in your command prompt. So in order to open my assignment1 Python file, I'm going to first write cd desktop, which stands for change directory desktop. Basically opens your desktop folder. And now I'm on my desktop folder. And if I want to see what files I have on my desktop, I can write dir, which stands for directory, and this will show me all the files that are there on my desktop. And this is the particular file that I'm looking for, assignment1.py, right? So I have to type that, assignment1.py. And now if I hit enter, and there you go. My code is running in Windows command prompt. Let me clear up the screen a little bit. CLS clears up your screen. Now I'm still on my desktop folder. Now I'm going to open my assignment1.py file. And there you go. This is the next part of your assignment. It's running the code in a command line. Now what you have to do is take an image of this file, and you similarly do that with snipping tool. Go to new and just click, and that is the next part of your assignment. And save this file, save it as capture 2, close out of this, and there's your capture 2, and this is the second part of your assignment, and upload that and you're done. Okay, I hope this video was useful. If it was, do give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more problem solving videos. Until next time, what's your problem? Hey, what's your problem, YouTube? And welcome to the second episode of my Coursera Python for Everybody series. And today we're going to be taking our first quiz. Go to week 3. And it's the quiz on chapter 1. So let's get started. So, the first question. When Python is running in the interactive mode and displaying the chevron prompt, what question is Python asking you? What Python script would you like me to run? What Python statement would you like me to run? What is your favorite color? And what is the next machine language instruction to run? Well, it's obviously what Python statement would you like me to run. You should keep an eye out for the options though, because they keep shuffling. This option was second for me, but it could be the fourth option for you. Okay, moving on to the second question. What will the following program print out? X equals 15, x equals x plus 5, print x. Well, it'll print out 15 plus 5, so that'll be 20. Question 3. Python scripts files have names that end with its py. Question 4. Which of these words are reserved words in Python? You can actually select more than one for this question. Well, among these 5 options, we know that if and break are the only 2 reserved words. Question 5. What is the proper way to say goodbye to Python? It's quit. Question 6. Which of these parts of a computer actually executes the program instructions? It's the central processing unit. Question 7. What is code in the context of this course? Well, it's definitely not a way to encrypt data during World War II. It's a sequence of instructions in a programming language. Okay, moving on to question 8. A USB memory stick is an example of which of the following components of computer architecture? It's secondary memory. Question 9. What is the best way to think about a syntax error while programming? You know what? For a second I thought my computer hates everyone in my town. But actually the answer is the computer did not understand the statement that you entered. Okay, question 10, the last one. Which of the following is not one of the programming patterns covered in chapter 1? Well, if you've seen the lectures, random has not been covered. Okay, let's find out how I did. Okay, I got 100%. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more problem solving videos. Until next time, what's your problem? Hey YouTube, welcome back to What's Your Problem, and this is the third episode of my Coursera Python for Everybody series. And today we're gonna do a simple assignment. Let's go to week 3. Let's check out our assignment. Okay, so this is the Python playground designed by the Python for Everybody team. And for this assignment, you're supposed to write a print statement to say hello world. And notice that the first line says that the code below almost works. And the hash or pound sign in the front indicates that it's a comment and not a code. And the second line is our code, but it doesn't work because there's a printing mistake here. It says print rather than print. So just delete the Q and add a T, and be informed that your output has to match this desired output, and this output is case sensitive. So if all the letters are small letters, then make sure all the letters you're typing here are also small, otherwise you're gonna have a problem. Okay, now that we're done here, let's check our code. And we're done, and the grade is updated on the server. And that's it for this assignment. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos where I solve your problems. Until next time, what's your problem? Welcome back to my channel YouTube, and this is the 4th episode of my Python for Everybody series, and today we're gonna be taking another quiz. Let's go to week 4. Okay, it's the quiz on chapter 2, so let's get started. Question 1. Which of the following is a comment in Python? The one with the hash or pound sign in the front is the comment, so the first one. Again, be mindful that the options keep shuffling, so it might not be the first one for you. Moving on to the second question. In the following code, x equal to 42, what is x? X is a variable. Question 3. Which of the following variables is the most mnemonic? And if you don't know what mnemonic means, it means something that can be remembered easily. So it's hours that can be remembered most easily. Question 4. Which of the following is not a Python reserved word? Iterate is not a reserved word. Question 5. Assume that the variable x has been initialized to an integer value. For example, x equals 3. What does the following statement do? X equals x plus 2. It would retrieve the current value for x, add 2 to it, and put the sum back into x, so it's this one. Question 6. Which of the following elements of a mathematical expression in Python is evaluated first? It's always parentheses. Question 7. What is the value of the following expression? 42% 10. They're basically asking you what is the remainder when you divide 42 by 10. Well, it's 2. Question 8. What will be the value of x after the following statement executes? Well, this will be calculated first, followed by this, and then the entire addition will take place. So 1 plus 6 minus 2 is 5. Question 9. What will be the value of x when the following statement is executed? X equals int 98.6. Well, the decimal place will be removed. It's not 99, it's 98. Question 10, the last question. What does the Python input function do? Pause the program and read data from the user. And I'm done. Let's see how I did. Full marks again. I'm getting good at this. Alright, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more problem solving videos. Till next time, what's your problem? Welcome back to my channel YouTube. This is the 5th episode of my Python for Everybody series, and today's task is assignment number 2.2, which is in week 4. So let's find out what that is. Here we go. So you're supposed to write a program with the input function and enter the name Sarah when the pop-up dialog box appears. Let me just zoom in so you can see better. Okay, now our output has to match this desired output, which says hello Sarah, and as I mentioned before, this is case sensitive, so the H and S have to be capital. Okay, the first line is a comment which says the code below almost works, and this is our variable name, which will store our input value, and we have to write hello Sarah, not howdy. Hello, comma, and then we'll enter the variable name. And now if we check our code, a pop-up dialog box appears and we have to write the name Sarah with S capital. And it's done. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more problem solving videos. Till next time, what's your problem? Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my Coursera Python for Everybody series, and today it's time for another assignment, so let's go to week 4. Okay, so today's assignment is 2.3. Here we go. Okay, so this is a similar assignment to our previous one, where you have to use the input function again, and this time it will prompt the user for 2 separate variables, hours and rate per hour. And we'll multiply the input values to calculate a total pay amount. And our output has to match this desired output. Okay, this line is a comment which says that the first line is provided for you. And the first line is, there's a variable hours which will store the user input value. Okay, so let's start. We need another variable. Let's call this rate. And it'll prompt the user for the value of the rate. Enter rate per hour. Now, be noted guys that whatever the user inputs is actually taken as string in Python, so we have to convert them into floats or integers before we can use them in any kind of calculation. And how do we do that? Well, let's make another variable, say x, and we'll equal that to the float value of whatever the user inputs in hours. And let's name another variable y, which will convert the rate into floats. Now we can use x and y in our calculation instead of hours and rate. So let's write our final print statement, which is print hey x multiplied by y. Okay, we're done. And the question says use 35 hours and a rate of 2.75 per hour. So x will be our 35 and y will be 2.75. So let's check if it's working. Hours is 35, rate per hour is 2.75. And it matches the output, and we're done. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Till next time, what's your problem? Welcome back to my Coursera Python for Everybody series, and we're taking another quiz today in week 5, so let's take a look. Here we go, it's the quiz on chapter 3. Okay, first question. What do we do to a Python statement that is immediately after an if statement to indicate that the statement is to be executed only when the if statement is true? You indent the line below the if statement. Second question, which of these operators is not a comparison or logical operator? Equal to sign. Question 3, what is true about the following code segment? Depending on the value of x, either all 3 of the print statements will execute or none of the statements will execute. Okay, question 4. When you have multiple lines in an if block, how do you indicate the end of the if block? You de-indent the next line past the if block to the same level of indent as the original if statement. Moving on to question 5, you look at the following text. It looks perfect, but Python is giving you an indentation error on the second print statement. What is the most likely reason? The most likely reason is you have mixed tabs and spaces in the file. Question 6. What is the Python reserved word that we use in two-way if tests to indicate the block of code that is to be executed if the logical test is false? And the answer is else. Question 7. What will the following code print out? It'll print out small, all done. Question 8. For the following code, what value of x will cause something else to print out. This code will never print something else, regardless of the value of x. Question 9. In the following code, which will be the last line to execute successfully? Line 1. Question 10. For the following code, what will the value be for ISTR after the code executes? -1. And I've completed the exam. Time for my results. 100%. Now it's time for you to take the test. All the best, you're gonna do great. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe for more problem-solving videos like this one. Until next time, stay problem-free. Welcome back to my channel, guys, and this is episode number 8 of my Coursera Python for Everybody series, and today we'll be taking an assignment in week 5. Okay, so our assignment is 3.1. Let's take a look. So this is our assignment. We basically have to use the input function to prompt the user for hours and rate per hour, and we'll multiply the values to calculate a pay amount. But this time there's a condition involved, so we have to use the if-else statements to meet those conditions. And our output has to match 498.75. Okay, so let's start. We'll need another variable, let's name it rate, and it'll prompt the user for rate per hour. Next, we have to convert whatever the user inputs into floats so that we can use it in our calculation. Let's name another variable r, and it'll convert the rate into float. Now, according to our condition, up to 40 hours, the rate of pay will remain unchanged. So let's write if the variable h, which is for hours, is less than or equal to 40, we'll introduce another variable, let's say pay, and it'll calculate the pay amount h times r, and we'll print that variable pay. However, if the hours worked exceeds 40 hours, then the rate of pay will become 1.5 times the regular rate for all the extra hours. Okay, so let's write that in our code. Else, let's take a variable, say reg, for regular payment, and it'll calculate the payment for up to 40 hours. So r times 40. And for our overtime, let's take another variable, say OTP, for overtime payment, and this will calculate the pay for all hours worked over 40 hours. So h minus 40, and the rate of pay will be 1.5 times the regular rate. And in this case, our variable pay will be the sum of reg and OTP. And we'll simply print out the variable pay. Okay, and the question tells us to use 45 hours and a rate of 10.5 per hour. So there should be 5 hours of overtime payment. Let's check if our code is actually working. Hours is 45 and rate per hour is 10.5. And it's a match. And our grade has been updated on the server. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more problem solving videos like this one. Until next time, stay problem free. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my Coursera Python for Everybody series, and today we're doing another assignment in week 5. And our assignment is 3.3, so let's take a look. Okay, so this is our assignment. We basically have to create a grading system using the if-else statements. And depending on the user input, we may have to write an error message as well. So for that we need the try and except blocks. Okay, so let's get started. The first line has been provided for us. First, we'll start with the try block. And guys, I cannot stress this enough, the user input is always taken as string in Python. So you have to convert them for Python to recognize them as floats or integers. So that's our first job. Let's take a variable, say SC, and convert our score into float. Next, we'll start writing the if-else statements using the given conditions. So let's go ahead and do that. Notice that the score has to be between 0 and 1. So that will be our first condition. If SC exceeds 1, we'll print out an error message. Something like, please enter a score between 0.0 and 1.0. Next, we'll do the same thing for a score less than 0. Elif SC is less than 0, we'll print out the same message. And now we'll start with the grading scale. First condition is if score is between 1 and 0.9. In that case, we'll print A. Next, if score is between 0.8 and 0.9, we'll print B. If score is between 0.7 and 0.8, we'll print C. If score is between 0.6 and 0.7, we'll print D. And finally, if the score is below 0.6, we'll simply print F. Okay, our try block is complete, and now we have to start our except block. And guys, make sure that the except level is indented at the same level as the try block. And in our except block, we want to write an error message if the user inputs anything other than a numerical value. So let's write a simple error message. Print invalid entry. Let's now copy the above error message. Please enter a score between 0.0 and 1.0. And we're done. The question specifically tells us to input a score of 0.85, but I'm just going to check if my code is fully operational. Let's say if I enter a score of 5, which is above 1, and I get my error message to enter a score between 0 and 1. Okay, let's try another one. Say if I enter letters this time, random letters. And this time it prints out the error message in my except block. So our code is working fine. Now let's enter the required score of 0.85. 0.85, and our output matches the desired output, and we're done. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more problem-solving videos like this one. Till next time, stay problem-free. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my Coursera Python for Everybody series, and today we're gonna be taking a quiz in week 6. And our quiz is chapter 4. Let's take a look. Okay, question 1. Which Python keyword indicates the start of a function definition? It's def. Question 2. In Python, how do you indicate the end of the block of code that makes up the function? You de-indent a line of code to the same indent level as the def keyword. Question 3. In Python, what is the input feature best described as? A built-in function. Question 4. What does the following code print out? Well, since the function thing is never called, it'll only print out there. Question 5. In the following Python code, which of the following is an argument to a function? Well, max is the function and x is the argument to that function. Moving on to question 6. What will the following Python code print out? It'll print out 10 20. Question 7. Which line of the following Python code will never execute? Print world will never execute since the function is returned before that. Question 8. What will the following Python program print out? It'll print out Bonjour, Michael. Question 9. What does the following Python code print out? And this is a bit of a tricky question. But since it returns only a in the function, so it'll only print out 2. Moving on to the last question. What is the most important benefit of writing your own function? Avoiding writing the same non-trivial code more than once in your program. Okay, I'm done. Now let's find out my results. %. Okay, now it's time for you to take the test. You're gonna do great, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more problem-solving videos like this one. Until next time, stay problem-free. Hey YouTube, I'm back again to solve another problem. This is episode number 11 of my Coursera Python for Everybody series, and today we're gonna be doing an assignment in week 6. Let's take a look. And our assignment is 4.6. Here we go. Okay, so this is basically the same assignment again, where the program will prompt the user for hours and rate per hour, and will multiply the user inputs to calculate a total pay amount. And everything is as it was before. Hourly rate is normal up to 40 hours and increases to 1.5 times for over 40 hours. Everything is pretty much the same, except this time we'll have to write a user-defined function named compute_pay. And whenever we call this function, it'll do all the calculations for us, and we don't have to write the code over and over again. And notice guys, the question tells us not to worry about error checking the user input because that might get a little bit complicated, so I'm going to avoid that. Okay, so let's get started. We can use the first line which defines our function compute_pay with the two parameters h and r. But we don't need this second line, so we'll delete that. Now, let's start inputting the conditions. If h greater than 40, then we'll do what we did before. The regular payment will be equal to 40 times R, and our overtime payment OTP will be for all hours worked over 40 hours. And the rate will be 1.5 times the regular rate. And our total pay amount will be equal to the sum of reg and OTP. However, if h is less than or equal to 40, we'll simply write else a is equal to h times r. And guys, make sure that your else is aligned with your if. Okay, and our function will return just one thing, pay. And that is the end of our function. And now we'll de-indent to the same level as the word def to indicate that we're out of that function. Okay, we can keep this line, which will prompt the user for hours. We'll enter another variable rate, which will prompt the user for rate per hour. And what's the next step, guys? We have to convert the user input into floats in order to be able to use them in our calculation. So let's do that. Let's name the variable fh for float hours, which will convert the hours into float, and fr for float rate, and this will convert the rate into floats. And we will use fh and fr as the two parameters for our function compute_pay. And the next line assigns a variable p to compute_pay. So let's delete the parameters 10, 20 and replace them with fh, fr. And guys, make sure that the order of these parameters correspond with the order of the parameters that you input when defining your function. that is hour for hour and rate for rate. And we can keep the last print statement and we're done. The question specifically tells us to use 45 hours and a rate of 10.5 per hour. So let's do that and see if it matches pay 498.75. Let's go. 45, 10.5. And it's a match and we're done. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more problem solving videos like this one. Until next time, stay problem free, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is episode number 12 of my Coursera Python for Everybody series, and we're in week 7 today, taking our last quiz. And the quiz is on chapter 5. Let's take a look. Okay, question 1. What is wrong with this Python loop? Well, since n is equal to 5, it's always going to be greater than 0, so this loop will run forever. Question 2. What does the break statement do? It exits the currently executing loop. Question 3. What does the continue statement do? It jumps to the top of the loop and starts the next iteration. Question 4. What does the following Python program print out? It prints out 5. Question 5. What is the iteration variable in the following Python code? Friend is the iteration variable. Question 6. What is a good description of the following bit of Python code? The answer is sum all the elements of a list. Question 7. What will the following code print out? -1. Question 8. What is a good statement to describe the is operator as used in the following if statement? Matches both type and value. Question 9. Which reserved word indicates the start of an indefinite loop in Python? While. And question 10, our last question. How many times will the body of the following loop be executed? Since n is equal to 0, n is never going to be greater than 0. So this will never execute and the answer is 0. And that marks the end of my exam. Let's find out how I did. And I got full marks once again. Alright guys, it's time for you to take the test. You're gonna do great, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more problem solving videos like this one. And until next time, stay problem free, guys. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and this will be the last episode of my Coursera Python for Everybody series, and we're gonna end the series with a final assignment in week 7. Let's check it out. And our assignment is 5.2. Here we go. Okay, so the assignment is a program that will keep asking the user for integer numbers indefinitely until the user enters done. And once you enter done, the program will print out the largest and the smallest numbers that you entered. And another thing, if the user inputs anything other than an integer or the letters done, then we have to put out an appropriate error message. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin. As you can see, quite a lot has already been done, and we can keep some of it as well. We'll keep the two variables largest and smallest and their values none. A side note, in Python, none means null. It doesn't mean 0. It's a data type in and of its own, like string or float. So for now, the variables largest and smallest are data type none. Next, we'll start an indefinite while loop with while true, where at first we'll ask the user to enter a number. Next, if the user inputs done, we'll have to stop the loop. So that will be our first condition. And so we'll keep this line if num equals done, colon break. We can also write break in a new line, it doesn't matter. but we don't need this line, so we'll delete that. Now we can move on to our try and except blocks, where we'll actually store the largest and smallest values and catch any error made by the user. So let's begin with our try block. Try. And guys, our first job is always to convert the user input into floats or integers so that Python can recognize them as actual numbers. In this case, we'll convert the user inputs into integers and assign a new variable. Let's say n equals int of the user input variable num. Next, let's input the conditions for our maximum value. If largest is none, largest equals n. If largest is less than n, then also largest is equal to n. Well, that takes care of our maximum value. Now let's do the same thing for our minimum value. If smallest is none, smallest equals n. If smallest greater than n, then also smallest equals n. Okay, that should take care of our maximum and minimum values. And guys, if you have any problems understanding the code, leave a comment down below. I'll be more than happy to explain it to you. Okay, now we'll have to get on with our except block. And guys, make sure to indent your except block at the same level as your try block. So let's begin. And in our except block, we'll only write an appropriate error message for any invalid entry made by the user. So let's type print invalid input, as you can see in our desired output. Make sure that the I of invalid is capital. And guys, since this loop is supposed to continue until the user types done, so we have to type the keyword continue so that it goes back to our while loop instead of stopping. And that concludes our code. The only thing left is to type two print statements, one for our maximum and one for our minimum. And notice guys, there is the word is in both statements, so we have to add the word is to the already given statement. And in our second print statement, we'll write minimum is, comma, smallest. And that is the end of our program. We're supposed to enter the numbers 7, 2, then the string Bob, and then 10 and 4. And our output should look something like this. So let's check one final time if it's working. 7, 2, Bob, 10, 4, and then we'll enter done. And it's a match once again, and we're done. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, then give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more problem solving videos like this one. Until next time, stay problem free and take care guys.